Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Shy. Welcome to another installment of Q&A with Shannon about OCD recovery. Thank you for following. Today we have a great question about pure O. Here's the question. What about pure O? Is it defeated the same way as your strategy for dealing with the classic form of OCD? Alright, this is a great question, and I think we first have to settle upon an understanding of what the term pure O means. I never heard the term pure O when I suffered the most and went through my own recovery. I know the term has been used quite commonly over the past decade or so. I have also observed some debate about the term because it can be a bit confusing if it is used or understood to mean that pure O is OCD without compulsions. This leads to the sufferer feeling like there is no way out of the hell pit because we are told a necessary part of recovery is to stop giving in to compulsions. My understanding of the term pure O is that it describes a situation where a person has obsessions, that is, thoughts, images, feelings, and urges, and then performs mental compulsions, such as mentally ruminating to try to get certainty or get relief from the anxiety the obsession gives you. And I would venture to say that at least some people who feel like they fall into the pure O category also experience physical compulsions such as avoidance or checking. But for purposes of today's question, let's just stick with mental compulsions that occur in response to our obsessions. I can speak to this because when I suffered from OCD, I was consumed by not only physical but also mental compulsions. I suffered from rumination almost nonstop, it seems. And to answer today's question, let me put it this way. Yes, I used the same strategy, my ground rules, to deal with both. I responded to a question about rumination on April 11th, 2024 in this Q&A series. Go back and watch it if you want, but I think it's helpful for me to just repeat my answer in light of today's question about pure O. On the surface, rumination can be confusing because we get fixated on what seems to be a blurry line between OCD-generated thoughts and compulsive thinking. I tried to keep my approach simple. OCD was sending me dark messages, the thoughts, the images, feelings, and urges, all referred here today as thoughts, designed to evoke a response from me. From a perspective standpoint, I viewed rumination as a mental behavior, the same as my physical behaviors, for example, checking, avoiding, washing, seeking reassurance, etc. Once I zeroed in on what OCD wanted from me, to mentally analyze, review, or solve, it was easier to target what I needed to prevent. I moved beyond debating about what I could not control, that is OCD's thoughts, and what I could control, whether to respond with rumination. OCD was betting that I would cave based on my perceived need for immediate certainty or relief from anxiety. It gave me thoughts and follow-on thoughts to increase doubt and anxiety and bait me into responding. I learned not to take the bait. When I became self-aware of what OCD was trying to do, or even aware that I was already ruminating, I paused and asked myself, do I need to respond? Do I need to analyze this? Do I need to solve this? I continued my ordinary life activity of the moment, like reading, watching TV, playing with my kids, and tried to focus on and be mindful of that, even while OCD was raising Cain in my mind, like opposing fans during a free throw attempt in basketball. To be clear, I wasn't distracting myself to avoid OCD. I was deciding that I had the right to do what I wanted to do, not what OCD wanted me to do. Over time, the thoughts dissipated. It wasn't easy, but I did it. You can too. We are not different. Finally, do not be afraid to think. Rene Descartes was right on the mark with, I think, therefore I am. Life itself gives us much to rightfully think about. The ability to think is a beautiful, spectacular, and awesome power. A power that belongs to you, not to OCD. OCD can be defeated. I'm with you. Let's go.